This is Off the Ice, the Nanaimo Clippers hockey show on 106.9 The Wolf. With the latest news on the Clippers and the BCHL, here's Dan Marshall.
Welcome to Off the Ice, the Clippers hockey show, an hour of hockey talk. Lots to discuss with the Clippers having two games at the BCHL Showcase in Chilliwack on Friday and Saturday. And the first three-game week of the season, Alberni Valley in town on Wednesday. Then games against Coquitlam, grudge match perhaps. We'll talk about that on Friday. And Saturday, the Vernon Vipers are here. We're going to get to the head coach and general manager of the Clippers, Mike Vandekamp, in just a quick moment. But we'll start off the show with trivia. Your chance to win a pair of tickets to any upcoming Nanaimo Clipper home game. And you can chime in on Facebook. You can also go to @1069 The Wolf on Twitter. Joe D, chance to win a pair of tickets. Give us the question for tonight.
Including this year, how many seasons has Mike Vandekamp coached in Nanaimo? Now, it's multiple choice. We have A, 4 years, B, 5 years, and C, 7 years.
Now, the coach... You can't answer this question, so stay away from that, Coach. You don't need tickets to the games anyway. But let's talk about the BC Hockey League Showcase for a moment. Aside from your games and the results, the event itself, your thoughts on the event as a whole, but specifically this year, the bit of a different format, all in one rink in over 4 days. What did you think about that?
I think it was a good move. I agreed with that move from the beginning. I think, when there's two games going on simultaneously and two different rinks, even though they're only a short walk from each other, I think it's very difficult on someone who's recruiting or scouting to try to settle in and just watch, everybody, because you're going to miss certain shifts and certain parts of games. And I think it's better just to have one rink. And I think it also, so it's good for the recruiters, good for the scouts. I think the players are aware of the fact that, all the attention is on that game because it's the only game being played. And I also think it lends to other places hosting the event in the future, too, which I think is something that will likely be discussed, even though Chilliwack does a great job, and it's a great rink, and it's also fairly, obviously, centrally located within relativity to the rest of the league. But, it wouldn't be a bad idea to see if we couldn't spread it around. I mean, when you start looking at what... the rest of the community gains, like economically, from an event like that, it's actually a pretty substantial number. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to see it spread around our league and allow some other communities to benefit from hosting the event as well.
I found myself driving away from the showcase on Saturday thinking, how on earth are the Clippers 1-1 after this event? How on earth are the Clippers 1-1 after the dominant performance of Friday and putting up 50 shots, including 26 in the third period on Saturday? And I think it's almost a microcosm of the entire season. As I look at your record at 3-3 and the way you played, the amount of good minutes you've had, I say to myself, and I'll say to you now, how is this team 3-3? Can you put it into words and help me understand how you don't have a better record than you do?
Well, bearing down on chances, obviously. I mean, we've had a couple of losses this year where we completely, from the standpoint of shots on goal and territorial play and all those things, more or less dominated a game over the course of the 60 minutes. But bearing down on chances is a big one. Obviously, we've had some struggles with that, and that can be anything from, you and I talked about this last week, ironically. It can be anything from being a little greasier when you need to be and a little tougher around the net or whatever, but it can also just be a confidence thing and just kind of relaxing and not squeezing the stick too tight and just putting the puck in the net. Obviously, another reason is, we've had a couple of very strong goaltending performances against us. Part of that, again, has to do with our own finish, but part of that's to do with just the fact that we've ran into a couple of really good goaltender performances on a couple of different occasions, particularly last Saturday and then this Saturday. I think those two jump out at me for sure as two games I thought we probably could have or should have won. And also just key moments in games. Special teams aspect of it has been a big player. Our power play was really good on Friday night against Merritt. I think we were 50%, and it looked good. And then the next day we had a couple of big-time opportunities on the power play. And obviously you mix in some of the goaltending and some of the big saves during that time too, but you still have to find a way to put the puck in the net. So, we need to get more people scoring. That's evidently clear. We can't just have 2 or 3, 4 people maybe providing offense here. We've got to get offense out of other people, but overall the effort's been pretty darn good. I mean, I think we had one bad period this weekend, and it was the first period of the second game. We gave them a little bit of momentum and didn't play as well as we needed to, but to be honest with you, when you watch it on tape, it should have been 2-0 us before they scored the first goal. We didn't bear down and buried a couple of very, very good opportunities, and they turned around and scored the first goal of the game. So we got to be a little bit more opportunistic with our own opportunities, and certainly step up on the power play and in those key moments in games.
Last thing for you, when I talked to the players, I asked them about a team that they dislike the most, and the common answers are always Powell River and Alberni Valley. If you ask the fans, especially after the playoffs of last year, those are the teams that right now stick out because playoff rivalries get people going. As a coach, do you get wrapped up in that at all, that it's a big rivalry game and Alberni Valley is a team that's maybe on your list for that? Or do you try and stay out of the big rivalry games and say, hey, you know what, it's 58 games, every game's a big game?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I could sense that, I guess, as a that the players would feel that way or whatever, but for me, no. I just take every game to be as equally as serious and have the same type of approach, the same level of excitement about the game, focus, preparation. Certainly stay really consistent with our preparation and don't change it because it's somebody different or try to amp things up because it's a different team. I mean, that's just me personally. Well, there might be other coaches that sometimes I sense like certain other coaches really don't like our team. I get that sense sometimes, but maybe it's just a read, but I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, I try to just totally 100% prepare exactly the same way and approach the game exactly the same way. And it's up to the players to get a feel for that rivalry. That's more about the players. I mean, the game is kind of a change, too. It's a bit of a different game, but you still kind of feel maybe a little bit of a dislike for a club, even though the games may not have the same extracurriculars that they used to have. So back in the old days, there'd be a certain event that took place that created the rivalry. You know, somebody cheap shot at a guy or ran a goalie over or something happened and they blew up, and then all of a sudden the rivalry kind of takes off from there. And sometimes that was the case in the old days. You don't see as much of that. I think now the rivalries probably come from a little bit of the geography, that the communities are close together, so the teams sort of play each other lots, and maybe just a little bit of that playoff stuff from the year before. But overall, I'm sure the players sense it. But for me personally, it's just another big game. And I know you know me well enough to know I'm not kind of blowing cliches here, but I actually really take each game like that seriously. So every game for me is extremely important, and it doesn't matter who we play.
I know that that's the case because I try and get those golden quotes from you and I can never get them. So you're very consistent with that. Coach, thanks for joining us on the show tonight. We'll chat again on Wednesday before the game with the Bulldogs.
Yeah, you bet. Take care.
That is the head coach and general manager of the Clippers, Mike Vandekamp. After the break, you'll hear from Matt Hoover and Chris Dodero from the Clippers on Off the Ice.
Back to Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show on 106.9 The Wolf.
Back on Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show. We have two new Clippers in studio for the first time this year, Chris Dodero and Matt Hoover. We'll talk about them so you can know them a little bit better. You'll see them out on the ice on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday against the Bulldogs, the Express, and the Vernon Vipers. Also, we'll talk about the BCHL Showcase with these guys and play a game, the Clippers Feud, based on the Family Feud, the game show that we all know, but we're going to do the Clippers version of it. Myself and Joe will try and keep score as best as we can. Guys, we'll start with some background. First of all, Chris will give you first word on this. For fans that are still getting to know you, take us through some of the places you played, maybe some of the people you played with, and some of your hockey career up to date.
Oh, I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Past few years, I was in the USHL. It's another junior A league, similar to the BCHL. I played in, last year I played in Lincoln, Nebraska. Pretty fun place to play. It's pretty similar up here. Grew up, started playing hockey when I was about 3. Started playing AA, then AAA in Chicago. Always stayed in the Chicago area. Playing minor hockey then. So it was my 4th year junior hockey. now. So
even going back to when you were playing minor hockey, are there any championship teams in there, even when you were a little young guy, that really stand out?
Actually, me and Lucas Finner played in the same Mite team. We won Mite state championship together when we were young toddlers. So
you guys have had quite a relationship. Are you waiting to maybe get on a line for a length of time there together that you can maybe show some chemistry here?
Yeah, I think we'll play pretty well together. I think we'll be playing together this week too. So 2 Chicago guys going at it.
What about you, Matt? Places you played, any championships, even as a young guy that stand out? Take us through your hockey background.
I grew up in Brantford, Ontario. I played my whole minor hockey career there up until minor midget, and then I went to the States, out east to Massachusetts, in a small town of Ashburnham, at Cushing Academy. I played there for my grade 11 and 12 year. And then I came to Kingston last year, Kingston, Ontario, for the Voyagers. That was my first year junior. And then now I'm out here for Nanaimo. So it's been a good ride, and glad to be out here. But I did win one championship with Cushing my first year. We won the large school championship, so that was a pretty cool experience.
And you had a good playoff run last year too, right?
Yeah, we made it to Game 7 of the finals in the OHL, and we lost to the Toronto Patriots, so that was a tough one. So I feel what all the guys felt here last year. They lost in Game 6, so I know what it feels like, and we're all itching for another run like that.
You do the Gretzky jersey tuck. He's from Brantford, you're from Brantford. Is that what you call it? Is that significant that it is a Wayne Gretzky thing?
Not really. I've thought about that, and I was making a joke about it last game, but I usually tuck the jersey in the back. But we got the fighting straps just in case something happens. I tie that up every once in a while, so if I can't get it tucked in the back, I'll tuck it in the side.
Start to the year for you personally, I think you'd say it's gone very well. For the team at 3-3, I think the expectations were higher. In your words, describe the start to the year.
Yeah, it's been good. Obviously, coming to a new team takes a little bit of adjusting, and that's what I think everyone's doing here. It's taken a few weeks. 3-3. Well, obviously, we want to be doing a little bit better than that, but we've seen a lot of positives coming throughout the games. Few games we've had 50 shots, and unfortunately have been coming out on the losing end of it, which seems a little weird. But again, a lot of positives from our side, and we just got to keep chugging along here, and everything will be going well. And for me personally too, it's been great. I've been playing with Brasso and Rempel, two really good players, so it's been easy to jump in with them.
Chris, was Friday the best game you've ever played without actually scoring a goal? You had some great chances and got robbed by some fantastic goaltending, but you were really going, I thought, in the game Friday, and that might have been one of the best games you've ever played without actually scoring.
Yeah, that was probably my best game of the season so far, even though I got robbed a few times there. It was a little frustrating, just kept going, but not on a personal note, the team came out victorious there. It's a good win overall.
Houston and Renwick as line mates, guys that play the game very simple but very hard, and I'm imagining they create a lot of opportunity for you because they're so hard on pucks.
Yeah, they opened up some ice out there. Chances were coming, just couldn't finish on them.
Looking at the game on Saturday, what did you see in that game? It was another game, 50 shots on goal. You guys did so many of the right things, but you end up on the 4-2 score. What were your overall thoughts, Chris, on Saturday?
Thought we played all right. Came out a little slow, but as the game went on, we picked it up a little bit. Like you said, 50 shots there. It's tough when that happens, but I think we keep going and the boys will start clicking here.
I want to ask you guys both about your style of play. Matt, we'll start with you. Describe your style of play and maybe an NHL comparable as well, if there's a guy that you really want to try and emulate your game after.
My role has changed a lot in the last couple of years, especially. Growing up, I was more of a goal scorer. I was smaller and could dipsy doodle around the ice pretty good, but once you start getting older, everyone gets bigger and stronger, and I wasn't that guy who got bigger and too much stronger, so it was hard for me to adjust. past minor hockey and coming into junior hockey. So when I was at Cushing, I kind of had that mixed role. My first year, I was kind of second, third line, kind of an aggressive guy who could chip in a little offensively. And similar with last year when I was in Kingston, I was looked for on the third, fourth line, kind of grinding it out, creating havoc for the other team. But this year it's been good. I've liked playing with Ross and Remps there, so hopefully we can keep that together and keep producing.
Chris, what about you? Style of play, and is there an NHL guy that you're trying to pattern your game after?
Try to play like Brendan Gallagher. He's a little smaller guy like me. Does everything. Gets feisty once in a while. He could also chip in offensively as well. So I like to try and be all around.
There are a lot of Dodero's relatives in the hockey world. So talk about some other Dodero's in the hockey world that maybe even I think are part of your family as well.
Yeah, I have an older brother that plays in Syracuse Crunch for the AHL club. That's Tampa's team. He same thing as me, kind of, except he went the major junior route instead of trying to go play college. So, but that was his first year there last year, and he'd been doing pretty well.
Let's wrap up on college. I know, Chris, you're looking at a commitment. Was it a good weekend for you in terms of getting to talk to some people? And is that still at the top of your mind to get a commitment done this year?
Yeah, definitely that. Just got to do what I got to do, play hard, do what I got to do to help the team win, and everything should take care of itself.
Matt, you're committed already. Tell us about Canisius College, a place that not many Clippers have gone recently, so tell us about the school you're committed to.
Yeah, Canisius is in Buffalo, New York, right by my house. Actually, it's the closest school I could have picked, an hour and a half away, so it's convenient for me and my family there. But no, yeah, when I talked to them when I was in grade 12 at Cushing, there was nothing but good things with Coach Dave Smith there and his staff, and they just put up a new facility there attached to the First Niagara Center, the Harbor Center. So that's going to draw a lot of guys that want to come in and draw a lot of new people from Buffalo to support the team. So I'm really excited for it.
We are now going to play a game, and Joe D will get you to hit the theme music. The game is the Clippers feud, based on the family feud. 7 questions. I do everything in 7s to treat it like a 7-game series. And this is for points and a special October Breast Cancer Awareness Prize Pack for one of you two guys, whoever the winner is. Guys, test out your bells if you could, please. Hit them nice and hard, and the first person to chime in will get a chance to answer. These are not hockey questions. These are actual family feud questions today on Clippers Feud. Chris Dodero versus Matt Hoover. Gentlemen, here we go. Name a word that most people yell at their dogs. Chris Dodero.
No.
Number 1 answer. You get to go again. Matt, you're out here until Chris blinks. Name a word that most people yell at their dogs.
Stop it. Stop.
Stop. Number 3 answer. 14 more points. You keep going until you get a strike. You've got no.
Down.
Down, yes. 7 people said down. He's running the table here, Matt. This is well done.
Yeah, this isn't good.
Got a dog back at the billet house.
You can tell you're on top of it here.
Sit.
Number 2 answer, 23%. You have, I'll tell you this, there are 2 answers left to clear the board. Otherwise, Matt does get a chance to steal some points. A word that most people yell at their dogs. He's deep in thought. Shot clock, I think. In 3,
Thinking.
2, 1. Shot clock expires on you. 2 chances for you, Matt. You only get 1 strike, though. Name a word that most people yell at their dogs.
I'll go with treat.
No. Strike, you're out. The final 2, fetch and bad. But Chris, you did very well there. First one of you to chip in on this next question. Name a musical instrument that is too big to carry on an airplane. Matt Hoover.
A cello.
A cello is correct. That's the third highest answer. So, Chris, you do get a chance to steal. Otherwise, Matt's going to keep going. Instrument too big to go on a plane. Chris Dodero.
Set of drums.
Set of drums. Ooh, below. That is an answer, but below. So don't give Chris the points for the drums. Matt, you get to keep going. Instrument too big to carry on an airplane. You said cello. That was the third answer.
Guitar.
No guitar. So that selection is done. Number one answer, tuba, 31%. Piano, 28%. Then cello. Harp, 9%. Drums, 8%, which Chris said. Bass, 5%. Trombone and saxophone, rounding out the list. Question number 3. Name an animal that we eat.
Cow.
That is correct. Number one answer. However, you didn't even hear the rest of the question. But it's okay because you got it right. You were lucky, though. So you have to keep going on this. Number one answer, 58 points. Name an animal that we eat that would never eat us. And cow was number one, so Chris, you keep going.
Pig.
Pig, yes, on the board. 4%. Keep going.
Chicken.
Chicken, number two answer. Keep going. There's 3 more. Oh, shot clock's coming down on Dodero here. 5.
Turtle. Turtle soup, maybe.
Turtle.
Is that something? Is that a Chicago thing?
Might be.
All right, Matt. Turtle was not on there, so you do get a chance to steal an animal that we eat that would never eat us and is not a turtle.
A little rabbit.
Rabbit is correct. Still 2 more answers on the board.
Well, deer.
Deer, yes. 1 more answer on the board.
Tough one.
Take a stab. Shot clock in 3, 2.
Let's go goats.
Not on there. Sheep, lamb was the final answer. Guys, get ready on those bells. Next question. Question number 4. Name something that you use when cleaning the house. I'm going Chris on that one.
Vacuum.
Vacuum, number 1 answer. Keep her going.
Mop.
Mop, yes, on the list.
Sponge.
Sponge. No, not on the list. So, Matt, you get a chance to steal something that you use when cleaning the house.
He said vacuum.
He said vacuum, and he said mop.
Mop.
And sponge was not on the list.
I'll go with a broom.
A broom, yes, on the list. Keep her going.
What about a Swiffer?
It's kind of a broom.
What do you think, Joe? Duster? Swiffer? Duster?
Swiffer Duster. It's a combined name.
We're giving it to you.
All right, perfect. Swiffer Duster.
Yeah, keep going.
Let's go with cloth.
Cloth. No, not on the list. The final ones were bleach, Windex, and soap. So all the cleaning agents. Be honest. Chris, billet's house or at home. Chores, do you do a lot of them?
Not so much. Just the dishwasher.
That's not a bad one.
And clean dishes once in a while.
What about you, Matt? Did they put you to work at home or in your billet's house?
Not too bad. Same, pretty much similar. Got a little bit of washing the dishes and a little bit of sweeping here and there and tidying up the room.
Chris is doing very well in our game so far. Let's go on to question number 5. Name something you would prefer to do on Sunday morning instead of going to church. Chris.
Go to breakfast.
Breakfast, yes, but that's not the number 1 answer, so Matt, a chance to steal. Something you would rather do on Sunday than go to church.
Watch TV.
Watch TV. Yes, it's above where Chris is. So don't give Chris the points, give Matt the points. Matt, keep going. Something you'd rather do on Sunday than go to church.
Let's go with playing a sport.
Playing a sports.
Something in that.
Yes, I'll go with that. Exercise, I think that counts.
Exercise, there we go.
Exercise, you're still in there, so playing a sport, we'll give it to you. Trying to be liberal here.
Yeah.
Something else you'd rather do.
What about video games?
Video games. No, not on the list. Read the newspaper, shop, go to a movie, and the number 1 answer that nobody said, I think the easy one, sleep. Sleep
True.
in. Long night coming back from a road trip.
Yeah.
Down to question number 6. According to women, what do men consider more important than marriage? Chris Dodero.
The car.
Their car on the list, but not number 1. Matt? What do women say that men consider more important than marriage? Be careful.
Let's go with their TV.
Their TV, not on the list. So, Chris, you'll take the points with 6. Either one of you guys have a steady girlfriend?
No.
All
I
right.
can tell.
Okay, number 1 answer was their career. Number 2, money. Number 3, other women. Sports. Then cars. And then freedom was the last answer. So the guys without the steady girlfriends, take notes. Those are things that women are thinking about you the next time you're out. What excuse, this is the final question, what excuse do people use when they do not return phone calls? Chris Dodero.
Phone was dead.
Phone was dead, yes. 4 people said that, but lots of higher answers for you, Matt. You can steal.
They were sleeping.
They were sleeping. Actually, no, that's below what Chris said. So give Chris the 4 points. The answers there, too busy, didn't get the message, I forgot, it was too late, and then phone off and asleep the final 2. I'm thinking, Joe, we have a landslide win for Chris Dodero. Tell us the score.
Chris, you are at a whopping 197, and Matt, sorry, but 57.
That's a destruction right there.
Well, Chris, congratulations. We have for you a breast cancer awareness prize pack, hockey related, some pink skate laces, and
nice.
a pink street invasion hockey ball.
Nice, thank you.
Work on the hands there, Dose.
Yeah, I can work on my sick handling before games.
Guys, appreciate the time today. Best of luck on Wednesday, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
Chris Dodero, Matt Hoover playing the Clippers feud and also talking about their own hockey careers. Who's getting the tickets tonight from our trivia?
Yes, well, it looks like Paul Cook got the right answer to our question, which is, including this year, how many seasons has Mike Vandekamp coached in Nanaimo? The answer obviously being
5. Lucky number 5. The Clippers hoping that they can get wins 4 and 5 and maybe 6 this week as well. Clippers with the Bulldogs on Wednesday at home. Coquitlam here on Friday, and then on Saturday the Vernon Vipers have a visit. Big thank you to our guests on the show. You just heard from Evan Hammond, the voice of the Alberni Valley Bulldogs, also joined by Brent Mutis, Communications Director from the BC Hockey League. The Clippers feud, Chris Dodero was the winner. Also, Matt Hoover played the game with us. They talked about some of their hockey career as well. Mike Vandekamp joined us off the top. For Joe, this is Dan. Good night from Off the Ice.
You've been listening to Off the Ice, the Clippers Hockey Show. Join us again next Monday night at 7 on Nanaimo's Rock 106.9 The Wolf.